One thing that I really like about this is that we get to interact with our audience from the tool itself. So these are the impressions. There's so much data on this dashboard. I can take a bird's eye overview of what's really important to me here. So I can see that how my audience growth has been. I can see the engagement on my posts and all of that. Hello everyone, this is Devi Shobha from Kidskintha. Today we are going to be going over a review of a brand new tool for social media marketing. It's called ContentStudio, and it's a very new cool tool that I want to really talk about. I am on the trial version of it, so let's get started. So here's the ContentStudio dashboard. As soon as I log in, this is what I see. Okay, so we see three main tabs here: the discover, publish, and the analyze. And within these, we have some amazing features as well. So let's go one by one. So the discover feature that we are talking about here is something that's really cool. It helps us capitalize on trending content that's happening from all over the world. We even have the ability to find articles that are relevant to our geographic area. For example, here's the top performing content, they say, and you have obviously the search tab here, but also you have a whole lot of curated topics here that are featured for you. So these are some of the things that I choose to follow based on my niche, which is parenting and education. So here I'm also interested in politics, so I do follow that because the politics of it affects a lot of policies around childhood and education and things. So I am definitely interested in politics. Not so much in movies. Of course, I do watch movies, but it's not relevant to my niche here. As you can see, I do follow body care, weight loss, and a lot of it. So it really depends on what you're interested in, and it gives a whole lot of choices here. So again, if I want to look for specific information pertaining to my niche, so what I do is, for example, I say, so here you already see a lot of keyword ideas here. So it says parenting styles, parenting classes. So if you want to also style or strategize your blog content around this, this is a great starting point as well. So so what I want to but I'm going to be looking for specifically, let's say, online classes, okay, because that seems to be the major concern and point of discussion right now. So I'm going to look for content around the world on this topic. So I see on the web there's so much content around this. So let's see if there's something that is relevant to my audience. Okay, so this is something that looks interesting, because this is something that's a hot topic of discussion. It affects a lot of people. So I'm going to see if I can schedule it here. Okay, I can do a whole lot of things. I can, as you can see, I have a whole lot of options here. I can choose to post it in my group, which is by the way a very cool feature, because many social media marketing tools do not allow direct posting into the group, but this is something that I really love. I also choose to do it on my Facebook page, my Twitter account, LinkedIn not so much, because this may not be that relevant. Instagram, it does require an API integration, which ContentStudio is working on right now, and it is expected very soon. So this is what it looks like. So let's say I schedule it for tomorrow at let's say 11, sorry, it's around 10 a.m. okay, I schedule it. I also can choose if it can go multiple times. So that's it. And the cool feature is that I also see how many times it has been shared, what's the trending score, but I can also base my decision to share or not on how many people have shared it in my niche. So here's it shared by 11 influencers already. I can also see who are the influencers, which is really helpful. Okay, so this is being shared by so many people. So I can also choose my next steps over it. I could probably go ahead and follow this person here, I mean this account here, something that I could do some more analysis on what kind of content they're sharing. I could get in touch with them and see if they would be interested in sharing my content. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that I can do, right? So that's a cool feature on Discover. And something else that I really like is this as well. The thing that I really like the most about this feature is this, cloud, the word cloud here, keyword cloud. It gives us a lot of keyword ideas, right? I mean, if you look at it, you know what's trending, and you know what could be your next article on, and what you should be talking about, and what really interests your audience, even for sharing on social media. And even if you're not writing an article on your website or your blog, you know what to share to keep the engagement up. Here's a cluster of keyword that throws up some good ideas. And then here's some, so this dashboard really gives us a quick overview of how the articles on this particular keyword has been doing, right? So online classes, how many articles have been shared, how many articles have been analyzed, the total number of engagements, and the average engagements per article on this particular topic. What's the interest level like, and what kind of engagement you could be looking at, the number of articles published in the in the recent past, and what kind of responses they've got, what social media channels have they been on, and the sentiment, like is it positive, neutral, negative, what kind of sentiments have people showed. It also analyzes the emotions behind it, which is superb, I think. And the average engagement network, like you can also see what articles are doing well on Facebook. As you can see on this, it's really high for online teaching or online classes on Facebook, because obviously Facebook is a very parent friendly platform, and a lot of parents are concerned about this, so it makes sense, right? So, and then the popular content types also, this is also a great feature, because now you see there's so many types of articles, so it can also give you content ideas on whether you want to be writing an article, or do you want to do a how-to kind of a post, or just a listicle, or a video, or review, or tutorial. I mean, there are so many options here, which sometimes really we don't focus so much on, but this really forces us to think and help us strategize on the next content steps for our websites. So I think this is great. This is the number of word counts per article, so you will know, you have a ballpark figure for the number of words you want to write in your article. Do you want to be longer than the average article? Do you want what kind of things do you want to focus on? What length do people usually expect? What kind of so just on this one key phrase, you have so much of information gathered. And also we have the author names as well, whose articles are doing so well. So I think this is superb. So this is the discover phase, and there is also a feature to analyze influencers. So if you just probably just look at education here again. So we have the best Twitter influencers. I think this looks up Twitter, and we have a whole bunch of influencers here. So if I want to tag one of these influencers, I can do it too. So if I have to say something to TED Talks, I can go ahead and say it, just put out my thoughts here. I think it's amazing, but I don't want to do it right now. So that's discover. And next we have the publish. The publish feature has a whole lot of sub features that are absolutely awesome. So the first one is the composer. So the composer gives us two simple options. Do you want to do like a social media post or a blog post? And one of the cool features that I found with Content Studio is that it allows us to do both social media and the blog post. Plus, it also lets us integrate the blog post with other posts like Medium, etc. Here are some campaigns that we've already queued up on the social media channels. These are some that have already been published. And this is how the social media post composer looks like. So this is what I want to share. This is something that we did last week. This is what I have already queued up. And this is on Facebook. As you can see, this is on my Facebook channel. Also my Facebook group, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, and a whole lot of Pinterest boards. But I don't know if I want to do all of them. So what I will do is I will deactivate a few here and just do the ones that are the most relevant. So here, yeah, I definitely do want to do awesome parenting. And then I also have Instagram. Content Studio is coming up with an API integration for a direct API integration for Instagram. Right now they don't have it, but it's going to be soon to be feature. So definitely look forward to that. And so I say now that I want to schedule it for, let's say, July 12th. So I do have the option to schedule it or post it right away. And I do want to test posting it right away. So, or I do have an option to add it to queue, add it to a particular content category that I can set up. And it also gives me the option to choose if I want to do it just once or do it multiple times. In this case, I just want to do it once because this is not going to be relevant week after week. But if it's evergreen content, if I want to remind my audience about something that's coming up, then yes, definitely multiple times is a great option. So I'm just going to go ahead and say schedule now. And let's say I want to do it for July 13th at 9 a.m. And I'm done. So that's great. So we just scheduled something for tomorrow. So this is great. Now I will show you how the blog post works. This is something that I really like. So this is a blog post that I have already written, and I chose, so we have a couple of great options here. We have content rewriting, we have paste from doc, which is what I did because I wrote the article on Google Docs and I pasted it here. This is a pretty long article, about 2,500 words. So I think the great thing about this tool is that it allows me to optimize. As you can see, a lot of options here: write, optimize, distribute, and review and publish. A great sequence here. And the cool thing is that this also allows for SEO optimization. As you can see here, when I pasted the article, it gave me some suggestions. I worked on a few. I chose to ignore a few because I don't think that makes sense for my writing style here, but you know, it's really up to you. But the cool thing about this is that once you optimize, you also have, this is the optimize phase. You can add media to it. You can adjust your SEO settings here. You can do the meta description here, the SEO URL, and everything that you want to change you can do right here. And all this is great, but I really like this. This is the one where it allows you to distribute the article once published immediately on your various platforms. I do not have a Tumblr account, but Content Studio definitely does allow for integration with Tumblr, WordPress, and Medium. So I have integrated my WordPress account and my Medium account. As soon as I hit publish on this, or even if I put out a schedule on this post, what would happen is that it will immediately go on to my Medium blog as well as my WordPress blog, while it is already been SEO optimized. And yes, now here all I have to do is, once I'm satisfied with what I see here, I will just go ahead and say, okay, go ahead and publish this. Okay, I can also schedule it. I can go as per my schedule. I don't have to really post it now, but I do have an option to do it now or later. So that is great. So on the publish feature, we also have the automation features, and here we have a whole lot of options here. So the one thing that I really like to use, because we do publish a lot of articles on our blog, so this is my campaign that allows me to do a whole lot of rule setting, and I have chosen to share it on all my channels, social media channels, but it doesn't have to be that way. So again, here it allows me to do a lot of content matching rules and filters. So I again have put in schooling and online classes, and mine is a really simple query. I didn't use all of this. What I just did was, choose my region, choose my language, and post age, and minimum social engagement I have set it to none, but we can have it as let's say maybe 1K. 1000 here. I can choose to have it posted at any of these time slots, or I can change them. I can remove some of them, and then I can choose from the duration during which I want to run this campaign. And of course, I want to see what goes in before it is published, so I definitely want to review it, and that's it. And what I do get is an email notification before it goes into my social media streams, and I can approve it or reject it. So this is what I see in my email. So this is an email from ContentStudio asking me to review my campaign posts, and as per my rules that I have set, I see that 4 posts have been planned for my automation campaign, posts that have come up as per my campaign rules. So this is something that I'm not really keen on, so I'm going to say delete this. Okay, and yes, and then I do have this. This is something that I definitely like. This is something that I definitely think should happen. So yes, I want to share it with my audience. I also want to see this. This seems interesting. So yes, I do want to see all of that. But you saw that I had the option to reject what I didn't want. So that's that. And then we have the analyze tab that gives a whole lot of analytics on the posts that we have done so far. And one thing that I really like about this is that we get to interact with our audience from the tool itself. So these are the impressions. There's so much data on this dashboard. I can take a bird's eye overview of what's really important to me here. So I can see that how my audience growth has been. I can see the engagement on my posts and all of that. And and that's true for all the other channels as well. And another great feature that I really like is that, so I really like the inbox feature, because I think this is a great one-stop toolbox to interact with all your audience comments. So here's something that we posted some time ago, and the tool actually pulled in all the comments from our audience, and it was really easy to interact from here. So if I just have to see the number of comments here and see what people have said, I can still respond as Kidskintha here. I can choose to respond, I can choose to interact, I can choose to look at all the comments from here. I can also filter it by type. I can look at private replies, somebody who sent me private messages. I can look at who's talking to the page, who's sending me messages. So somebody is asked, how to join your group. That's it. I think these are some of the great features we have. Working on the whole new thing, I reformatted, but it didn't come this way. So that is definitely a put off, and I hope that Content Studio team works on that. And if this can also work as an SEO research tool, keyword research tool, I think it will be great. Because as you saw in the beginning when I showed you the search terms, I think it gives us some ideas, but if it can also integrate the workings of SEO research, that is the key phrase research, I think this will also be a great tool for in like a one-stop tool for everything. The other cool feature that I would like is something like um, making it easy for us to interact with some of the other influencers. So for example, if this is something that I like and I see that this has been shared so many times, if there is a way for us to also see how many influencers have shared it, and also directly interact with them, I think that will be great. Just like BuzzSumo does, it helps us interact with the Twitter users, right? So I would definitely like to see that. And I definitely see uh, a lot of potential in terms of this doubling up as an SEO research tool as well. So if that can be integrated, I think this will be a great addition to what we already have. So I think if these features are implemented, I think it's already a great tool, but I think this will really become so much more awesome. It is on a lifetime offer, one-time lifetime offer as of now. It's at $69 for all of these features lifetime. So I definitely am taking this very seriously, and this review is for my fellow entrepreneurs who can get a lot more done with social media marketing with just this seamless and smooth tool. I really wanted to give it a shout out. So thank you so much, Content Studio team.